Hello, welcome to Quackalope, and today we're taking a look at Spire's End. We can't see the bottom part of that card. This is a card-driven, choose-your-own-adventure sort of narrative exploration game. This is a game that is right up my alley.
Oh, it's amazing. This even right up my alley.
You know how I have like a whole section dedicated to flavor text? This game is flavor text.
The game.
The game. Baby.
But with game inside too.
With actual good gameplay inside and like a cool narrative story and incredible artwork, which I'm sure you're seeing a little bit of B-roll of, but not too much, because if we shuffle through this deck, if we change it without the deck telling us to, we're gonna go mad.
Yeah.
That's literally what the rules say. We will
all sense.
We'll lose all sense and purpose, and Quackalope will be forever abandoned.
Quacka what?
Exactly. See, he's already started reorganizing. He had to get this deck stacked in the correct order because this is a sequence-based game. So the choices we make, the decisions we choose throughout the course of the game, will have us discarding cards. It'll have us driving into different narrative loops. Facing bad guys, unlocking equipment, upgrading our characters, and kind of playing through the whole campaign or losing horrifically.
We won't lose.
No, well, not on this one, because what we have in front of us is the first chapter, or at least part of chapter 1. This will be a 6-chapter series. So we are playing the very beginning, the intro into Spire's End. It's all he would send us. I did complain, I requested, I said I'd like more. We've already played this once. If you can't tell, we're kind of sweet on it already. It's really cool. Let's go ahead and dive in.
Oh, and before we start,
no,
this is a prototype copy.
I mean, that's fair to say, but it's
so, what I mean. You can't even tell.
Yeah,
it looks amazing and it feels great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gushing already.
The artwork is incredible.
Yeah,
everyone
really
that's seen we discovered this game from kind of an Instagram post where he was doing a little bit of ads and posting and things, and immediately you saw the artwork and you thought to yourself, oh, I don't care what that is.
I want it on my table.
I'd like to, and if you're here watching this Kickstarter video, there's a strong chance that's why you're here, is because you saw the artwork and you thought to yourself, oh, someone cared about this.
And you're a person of great tastes.
That's true. That's outstanding taste.
Excellent.
But this is a prototype copy. So we have provided our own little wooden cubes here. The dice that we have, we did stick to the color code, but these are Gatekeeper Games dice. These are not dice that'll be coming officially with Spire's End. They will have their own. I believe they just announced some custom dice for the end stretch goal. So there's some good things coming down the road. Talk a little bit about how you set up this deck. Usually, I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to try to go mad.
Yeah.
How did you organize the deck, and then where do we start?
So in Spire's End, you're gonna have a deck of numbered cards. These cards are all going to be organized in that exact order.
That's right.
Important that you never shuffle this. This is your deck, and you're going to be revealing these step by step. So essentially,
and after the first one, or after the first one's prompted, they will tell you where to reveal.
Everything is on the cards.
Yep.
And then over here, we're gonna have our allies. So at the beginning of the game, you're going to draft from 12 would-be heroes.
Yep.
And out of these heroes, they're actually all going to be part of your band of explorers.
We're all traveling together. And the narrative will get into that a bit, but they're all available to you because you're probably going to lose some.
Not really. Yes, you will. It's horrible. And this we don't talk about yet.
A little surprise off to the side. Well, we're going to keep it here. Let's keep it on frame, but we'll come back to that. Now, one thing that I did notice, you have the instructions shuffled in with the normal deck right here. In the actual released copy, those will be 2 separate decks.
Yep.
So we have them mixed because it's easier for us to keep it on camera and go through everything. But those will be 2 kind of off to the side piles. And the way you'll be able to tell the difference is the instruction deck have a different back from the top deck. We just have all of them kind of piled up on the very top here. So what I'm going to have you do, and for all of you watching up to this point, if you just want to skip to the gameplay, there'll be a link in the description and the first comment of this video allowing you to do so. But we are going to quickly run through the instruction cards, we're not going to read through them, but we're going to talk a little bit about what they instruct you to do, how the gameplay actually plays, and then get into just kind of the full swing of things.
The fun stuff.
So, shall we begin?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Let's start by drafting. So, who are you going to be? I know, pressure's on.
I think the
Okay, I'm going to take the one right next to
it. The power of the cards is here. Yes!
Oh, nice.
Oh, this guy is amazing. I like this.
I got the guy with the jackalope on his shoulder, which
This is perfect.
Which is fitting slightly. It should be a duck.
It's offensive, to be honest.
I've made a complaint.
Yeah.
There has been a complaint registered. Go ahead and start flipping that instruction deck, and let's figure out what's going on in this
I would
game.
gladly do so. So, instruction number 1, navigation. Jesse, would you like to talk a little bit about navigation, sir?
Navigation is going to talk about how we reveal cards throughout the course of the deck. So there's a key term called reveal. Mm-hmm. This means that it's going to prompt you to cycle through whatever number it tells you. There's also a key term called pull. That means you're digging and you're pulling something out. The main thing you need to know about the navigation is, if it tells you to reveal, you always go to the exact card it tells you to reveal, mm-hmm. you flip it, and you discard anything in between there. So narrative options that you could have taken, they're pathways that are no longer available, and I believe the way the rules states it is, these cards are flashes of alternative realities that are not meant to be. Pull is a specific term that means you will dig into the deck and you'll pull something out of it mm-hmm. without upsetting that timeline. Mm-hmm. That's the main mechanic for navigation. So let's go ahead and flip that second one, because at the bottom here it says reveal card 2.
Okay, so let's see what this holds for us. Oh, ally selection and setup.
So we already drafted. We cheated slightly.
No. Oh, I'm losing my mind already.
We preemptively knew.
Oh, no.
I just wanted to see who I was playing.
I'm super excited about this person. I have not played as this person, and Dain the Rudderkin looks amazing.
So this is a good time, though, to go ahead and talk about what's on our character cards here. Mm-hmm. What are people seeing? Because that's what this card describes. So point out your character card.
So essentially, your character card is going to tell you your hit points, it's going to tell you your armor points, and it's also going to have a really handy-dandy space for all your actions. So whenever you receive a card for the first time, you're going to give health to that card. So you'll take these red cubes and you'll place them next to the red number. Mm-hmm. Another thing that's really great about this game is that the graphic design is super clear and concise.
Yep, right up here at the top, you got your health. Down there below, you've got your armor. Now, health is what you use to take actions, so it's a little bit of a limited resource. It's also what you use to stay alive.
Yes.
Armor is just a defense mechanic. Mm-hmm. So it's a buff that can't be used for action selection, which you're about to talk about, but it can be used as a kind of block before you actually start losing your red cubes.
Yeah, so similar to other games in the genre, for example, Escape the Dark Castle or other exploration games that are dice-based, you're going to have to roll some dice in order to fulfill certain requirements that are going to be shown in the cards. However, one of the things that this game does differently is that you have different options that you can take with your dice rolls. Mm-hmm. You're feeling risky? Go ahead and pay some of your life force to deal a crushing blow to your enemies. Don't feel like going all in that first swing?
Yeah.
You got options too. How about don't pay any life force and just give a good 1-2.
It's a simple battle mechanic, but as we get into the gameplay, you'll see it really is quite interesting. Because I'm spending my life force, it makes that decision between doing a heavier attack versus a lighter, kind of more meandering attack, it makes that really critical. Because there's some moments where you just need to kill the bad guy, and there's others where wounding him a little bit, but keeping yourself up and running for as long as possible is beneficial.
Yeah, and one of the best things about it is that you feel you have agency. You're not just rolling dice for the sake of rolling dice.
Yeah.
There's decisions to be made.
And those choices you're making specifically modify the results your dice could give you. Mm-hmm. So if you spend a little bit extra, you could mediate the luck chance and guarantee yourself a hit, but you're doing so kind of at your own expense. So it has a nice way. There's still luck, as any dice rolling game will have, but I think it does a really good job at mediating that luck.
The other two things that we should remember are the conditions that all these actions may incur on enemies, which are going to be listed right here at the bottom. And then out of the upper right-hand corner, we're going to have two modifiers that we're going to get to very soon.
Another card dives specifically into them.
Because it says reveal
card 3. All right. Ally card anatomy. This is where we're going to talk about it. So let's go ahead and start on those two little modifiers. Up in the top, we have rest and we have the boost meter. The rest meter is going to be how you spend turns to hopefully get more health back. Mm-hmm. If you delay for a cycle, you get to build up that rest location, and hopefully you get to kind of bring back some hit points.
Yeah.
In this first round, in this first season that we played, or the first chapter, we didn't use the rest meter too much.
No.
So I'm not sure how much it'll come into play in this gameplay. I did talk with the designer, and he said that becomes a much more critical element later on in the game. So early on, you're usually able to kind of take down some of the creatures and press your luck just a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have a whole pile of them to kind of go through quickly. The other important thing that this is going to touch on is the same stuff that I was talking about with hit points and armor points. Just specifying that hit points is what actually knocks you out of the game. If you die, you die. You do your death move. Every character has a special action that happens when they die. But then after that, you draft another character, you stalk him, just like we stalked a moment ago, and you continue the fight. So that's the ally card anatomy. We've kind of dived through that. Go ahead and reveal card 4.
Actions. So actions in this game are going to be very straightforward. You essentially have two decisions to make. Either you do an attack action, or you do a prepare action. And when I say prepare, we'll go back to the two items that we just learned about, which is resting and then boosting. Pretty straightforward. So whenever you decide to make an action, depending on which one you choose, you're going to go through different steps. When doing an attack action, essentially you'll pick out of everything you have on your board. You'll pick any of those. You'll remove the health corresponding to that particular action, and you'll roll the dice. One of the interesting things here that you'll notice is that there are ranges. So if you decide to spend a little bit of health, what you're doing is that you're bettering your chances at the detriment of surviving longer in the game.
You're modifying that dice roll. You're potentially doing more damage, but you're making it harder for yourself at the same time.
So on the cards, you'll notice that there are 3 levels of intensifying red. You start off with a smaller range. You then move over to a 6s and 7s or even higher, and different characters have different ranges that you're going to be able to access. Another thing that's important to notice about these intensities is that there are conditions tied to them. So, for example, anything that's a box number, that's damage. Damage is awesome. But sometimes damage is accompanied by a letter. And remember when we talked about this at the bottom? Those are the conditions that, again, we will learn about later, but that's how you activate them and how you inflict them on your enemies.
For instance, if I'd spent 2 to do a jack attack, I'd then rolled in 6 through 8, I would do 3 damage, and that damage would come with Pierce. And that's a modifier that would affect that specific damage result.
Yep.
So that's kind of how that structure would work.
And so for those of you who are wondering, anytime you take an action, you don't remove your armor points. Armor points are only going to be removed when you are receiving damage from an external source.
Yeah, you can't spend the black cubes for your actions. So that's kind of the first part of the action steps, where you select your attack. The second part of kind of the action phase is going to be the recoup phase. That's where you choose to either gain some health, and where you also bring in your boost and your rest part of the turn. I will go ahead and discard this and reveal card 5, so we can talk about that a little bit more in depth.
So the next phase of your action is going to boil down into recouping. Recouping is usually very straightforward. You're going to make 2 choices. You're either going to A, heal, or you're going to rest. So for example, if Dane would have 2 life points taken away during battle, I would go ahead and roll my dice during my recoup action, and depending on the range of the dice that I get, I would be able to recoup that amount of health. So for example, here for Dane, I would get 1 cube back. However, there are certain instances where I might have full health.
Let's say you rolled an 8.
Yeah.
If you rolled an 8, you would have
get 3.
3 back, which would have filled up your health slot, so you'd have 1 left over.
And what happens when you have 1 left over?
That 1 is going to go up here to your boost action, which is going to be kind of a building modifier for any additional health rolls that you have. That's going to slowly build with every kind of consecutive recoup phase that you have where you roll extra health. Once that's meters filled up, you could spend this for a extra strength action, which I believe is a reroll.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a kind of mechanic that makes some of your spent energy not go to waste. The second option that we have here is going to be the rest, which is the second option you said people have in this recoup phase.
So resting is an either or. You either heal or you rest, right? Never both together. So if you decide to rest, you're going to place one of your cubes on the rest space. And what this is going to do is that essentially in a future phase, when you do recoup, you're going to add plus 1, 2, or 3 to that recoup.
To the dice roll when you do another heal phase. So during another
in a future
recoup
turn.
action.
Correct.
Okay, so it's a good way to like guarantee that you're going to heal a lot of health if you're able to kind of spend a turn. And one thing to specify, these aren't your own cubes you're adding.
No.
These are cubes from the stockpile. We're kind of grabbing them from all over the place. But when you do a rest, boost, or recoup phase, these are coming from kind of the marketplace. All right. I believe we've completed the majority of this card.
Yes,
go
we
ahead
have.
And bring this card over here, and it says reveal card 6. So step 3 is going to be upkeep.
So essentially, upkeep is all the conditions that your character might suffer during the game. This is where they apply. So the interesting thing about upkeep is that it actually happens at the end of your player action. So that means if you're poisoned and you got very brave and you decided to go out for an all-out attack, you're going to be able to finish that attack. But at the end of your turn,
yeah, you might lose that 1 health that you need. So the upkeep phase is going to be where you go through your player boards and you check to see if there's any remaining status effects kind of in the game state. And then you swing back around to the top.
Yep.
So I'll go ahead and set this over to the side. We will reveal card 7. And this is specifying enemy combat.
My favorite.
Okay, well then go ahead.
So enemy combat is going to be very straightforward, like basically everything else we've talked about. Once an enemy is on the field, I don't want to spoil anything.
You can't reveal an enemy.
So imagine there's an enemy card here, okay? So this enemy first has to choose a target. An important thing to note about this, I actually like that enemy. He seems menacing. So an important thing to note about this game that I don't think we actually mentioned in the beginning is that you always play with 2 characters on the board. Regardless if you're playing cooperatively with another friend or person you know. Doesn't have to be a friend. For example, me now. Or if you're playing solo, you still have to have 2.
Which is apparently how I'm going to be playing this game from now on.
Yeah, of course. Because I'm going to have my own copy.
Are you here because I just got a copy of Spire's End? Is that?
Yeah, I kind of made it. I needed to play this again. I'm sorry.
Since I've taught it to you, go ahead and teach us how to...
So, because you have 2 characters, the enemies have to choose who they're fighting against, right? So, you'll roll a dice. Actually, let's use the thematic dice. And depending on the ranges, if it's 1 to 4, they'll target at ally number 1. And if it's 5 to 8, they'll target ally number 2.
So
you get to choose what they are.
50-50 mechanic.
Yeah.
So after the character that's going to be targeted has been selected, you're then going to check out the enemy card. It's going to have a chart very similar to our action chart, and typically it'll be associated with this little deck here. You will, more often than not, flip a card here, which will determine the action that enemy is going to take. You'll then do the resulting effect. Oftentimes, that's going to come down to rolling a dice, looking at the same exact pattern that we have on our player cards, and determining what status effect, how much damage, and what other modifiers apply to the attack that they're doing.
Yeah. It's not going to be great.
It'll make a little bit more sense when we actually dive into kind of enemy encounters. We can't touch this deck or we will begin to go mad, else we would show you one of the enemies and spoil everything.
We'll get there, though.
We'll get there.
And another important thing to note about enemies is that they also recoup.
They do. Yeah.
So that's never good. So how about I go and reveal the next card?
Okay, you're allowed to do that because it does state reveal card 8.
Hey, I set my own rules.
Yeah, you don't for this game.
It's true. So combat review. So essentially, this is a very simple way of explaining how the game flows every turn.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be ally number 1, ally number 2, and then enemy.
And then right back into that loop. Ally
you're gonna
number
repeat.
1, ally number 2, and then the enemy. Until we get down to the choose your own adventure section of the game where I make all the decisions.
Do you have to really? I like making choices.
We also have a combat icon legend.
Yeah.
This is going to specify things like the attack abilities, persistent abilities, repeated abilities. Those are smaller icons, a little bit harder for us to display on here. The symbols are pretty clear on the cards themselves, but we won't go through every single one of those things.
We'll walk you through it.
We'll let you know as we play. Let's go ahead and reveal card number 9. Ooh, I do not mind this card at all. This is the loot mechanic. So this card basically walks you through the fact that throughout the course of the game, you're going to have the opportunity to gain items. Those items give you special abilities, extra things you can do during your action phase, a whole kind of mix of different things. We've actually only seen a few of the items that are available in this deck.
I think 2, right?
We've seen 2 of the items, literally a few of the items that are available in this deck. There are others we haven't seen. So in this playthrough, we're going to try to find some of the things that we missed the first time.
Oh, the loot.
But basically what it states is when you get an item, it's just going to slot down there at the bottom of your card. You'll have a little bit of text, you'll have a black border, and you'll have whatever that ability or that modifier is going to be for the rest of the game.
And it could either be a passive ability that you're going to get, or it could be a new action that you can take on your turn.
Or it could be something that affects the game state down the road. So
It might even be a key you're carrying that might open a door in the future.
We don't know if
We
they
don't
open
know.
doors. We have no idea.
Correct.
It could be a hippopotamus. There is a chance that...
You do tend to open hippopotamus with keys. That's right.
True, I've heard that. Well, nothing we say is official or sanctioned by Spire's End. We want to make that comment right now as we reveal card number 11.
Oh no.
This is not a pleasant card.
Oh no, it's talking about... I don't even want to say it.
Yeah, we're gonna die.
No!
That's basically what this card says.
No.
This is talking about the death mechanic of the game. Like we said earlier when we drafted our characters, they will and can die.
So don't get too attached.
I'm a little attached.
I kind of like this guy too.
Yeah. If and when they do die, basically what this says is your character will be out of the game permanently. No chance to bring them back. They will go into the discard pile, and you will draw blindly from the top of this deck, and another character will join the party.
Huzzah.
And it is as if, when we get into the lore of this game, you are traveling along with the last remaining band of people, and, a few of them venture forth, and if one of them is taken down, another one steps up to meet the challenge ahead. It's kind of how the mechanic works.
I don't think that would be me. I would kind of be at the back of the line.
You're at the bottom of this deck?
Yeah.
You're there because you have
can take
to be...
care of it.
You've got a responsibility, but if you don't have to get involved, well, maybe we'll...
And good job! That's great!
You're doing wonderful.
Excellent.
The last thing this card specifies is the quick start mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
Which we're not doing, clearly.
No.
We're having a little bit too much fun, possibly.
A little
It could be the milk that I drank earlier this afternoon.
You do tend to drink a lot of that.
Vitamin D.
It's kind of weird. Is that a Kentucky thing or?
Whatever the case, we have a quick start mechanic. So when you're just jumping into the game, it does have a way to get you into it a lot quicker than we're going.
And you don't have Jesse and Jan just talking and talking and talking.
And here it specifies it's time to head back to the story deck. And this is another number 11 card, which we should have revealed, which is going to be the status effects glossary. Mm-hmm. This is all of the little potential modifiers and things that you can do. The only thing you really need to be aware of is when you see a symbol that's attached to a term, that term will be on this card. It will either be a black or a red modifier. Those will be represented by cubes coming over onto your board, and that will last for a sequence or part of the game. Now, I have talked with the designer. Because this is a prototype, we don't have every single thing that we should. There is apparently going to be yellow cubes included in the game that signify different status effects or allow you to kind of have a little bit of an easier way to track those. Okay. There's also potentially going to be a card that slips underneath either your character or the main villain card. He's working on it. It's not confirmed yet, but there's a chance that we will have kind of a tracking slot over here into the side.
That sounds smart. I like that.
Well, that's because we suggested it.
Oh, shh! Don't say that.
I just like that you're like, oh no, that's a good idea. That's a brilliant, good play there. We will see. We will see. He's spent a lot of time kind of getting this game to the point where it is, and so at this point, there's a lot of little modifiers in terms of getting the game up and going into the table as easily and accessibly as possible, but this is a really good prototype.
Oh, I'm sure everybody could tell with that beautiful B-roll that we have going on. It's just
I haven't done any B-roll. I'm not known for the B-roll that we do.
No, really?
No.
I really thought we were
that's not what
that was our thing.
That's not what this channel is.
Oh, I'm sorry then.
Let's go ahead.
Are we starting?
Can I have the honor? It says begin here.
Yeah, go ahead. I've talked enough.
All right. Oh man.
It looks like a graphic novel. It's crazy.
It is a graphic novel in a card-based game that we get to play. So...
so happy.
It was unusually dark before the moon was swallowed in red. Crimson light circled the dark orb like a bloodshot raven's eye. The ground shook and something unimaginable bore its way out of the earth. It tore through the town with ungodly force. The streets filled with fumes, and the townsfolk fell into a deep, unnatural sleep. The strong, the frail, and the innocent all disappeared under the red eclipse. The spire stood there in silence. At its base was a door, left ajar. Reveal card 2.
Okay, I'm going to do this one.
Okay.
We'll paint this place with their blood, sweat, piss, and tears. Dust and debris. You wake, horrified, gasping for air. Your head is pounding and you're covered in dust and debris. You unearth yourself and climb to your feet. A monstrous foreign object spirals above you, like the horn of a giant deity attacking the heavens. A quick glance reveals endless mounds of wreckage in every direction. It's strangely silent, and you see no one about. You head off through the destruction to find your uncle, your last living relative. Thankfully, his cottage is outside of the spire's wake, untouched. He left you a note. I know you will come looking for me. Don't. I deeply regret what I've done, but during this incident, I hid, then ran like a whimpering dog. In truth, I'm a coward, crippled by fear. You are strong, courageous, everything I'm not. That's why you must go. I suspect those missing are being held captive in that spire. Mount a rescue. Find them. Free them. I am proud of the person you've become. You must remain strong. I fear many hardships and horrors lie ahead. Know that shame has clawed through my soul, and I won't survive long. I've made sure of that. But before I go, I have some knowledge I need to pass on. So this is technically where we should have read the instructions, but we wanted to keep the actual gameplay fresh and moving.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure this was tied directly to the rest of the game.
But it says to reveal card 3.
Can I do it? Yes! Okay.
Ooh.
The doorman.
Uh-oh.
You approach the door with a cautious step. I warn you, it's worse in there than you think, and you've imagined the unimaginable, no doubt, says an unfamiliar voice. A small creature reveals himself from behind the door. He is unkempt, a little worse for wear. His eyes appear kind. What are you? You've never seen this creature before. I've always been close, but you people are far too involved with yourselves to notice. We live right beneath you, only this thing here is from much, much deeper, he mutters, looking up at the spire. What do you know about this? You ask, hopeful. I've squirreled around. These underdwellers have horrible red eyes. They move silently and quickly. He stops and sniffs the air. I must go. With that, he scampers off into the spire. You move to follow him. When you see it, red eyes cutting through the darkness. You attack. Reveal cards 4 and 5.
So 4 and 5. Notice that they're red. Does this mean what I think it means?
It does.
Yes. Haha. Combat.
Doorman setup. This is what kind of prompts the very first villain that we encounter, or at least monster that we encounter. Set up the encounter as it's pictured below. Place the doorman in the playfield above your ally cards, beside for our purposes. Put his hit points and armor point trackers next to him. Bleed damage skips armor points and damages your hit points directly. And his action card should be in kind of reaching distance. After an encounter, allies in play regain all hit points and armor points, and any status effects and boost meters are cleared. So every fight is sort of a self-contained little thing. You're able to rest, recoup, heal up before you go into the next one.
Because then there would be no way you get to the next story.
I mean, there'd be a way, just not much of one.
That's true. That's true.
So, I'm
ally
one.
number 1?
I'm 1.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and swing into this. I already have my 5 armor. I'm just gonna go ahead and start off with something kind of medium. I'm gonna spend 2 of these.
Oh wow.
To do a jack attack.
I
have to start off, even though
it's great.
Even though it's not a quack attack.
It would be so much better and more efficient if it was a quack attack,
That's
right?
true. Because it didn't do a thing. It didn't do a...
If it was a quack attack,
Yeah.
that would have hit.
Yeah, it didn't, though. So I needed to roll a 4 or 5 to get any of those effects. I did not. The last thing I can do is choose to recoup.
No, you can't because it's the first turn.
Oh, you're right about
Yes.
that. I cannot choose to recoup because it's the first round of the encounter phase. I can next time, though.
Yes, you can.
All right.
If you're alive by then.
Go ahead. It's your turn.
So remember, ally 1, ally 2, and then bad guy. So, ally number 2, let's see. I kind of like bash and boast.
Okay.
Sounds appropriate for me.
Yeah, you're not very bashful and you're incredibly boastful. So.
Yes. Let's see. No, actually, let's do that on camera. There we go.
Did you Did you just nullify a bad roll as a justification?
Bad roll? What are you talking about? If it's not on camera, you can't tell what I roll.
I mean, I could tell, but okay.
No.
All right,
What did you say?
You rolled a 6?
Evidence that I got a 6 here.
That's a great roll.
It is a fantastic roll.
What happens?
I do 2 damage. And so, whenever you do damage directly to a character, you have to go through their armor points if it doesn't say so otherwise.
Yeah.
So, I took 2 chinks of that armor.
That's all you got to do?
Hey.
You cheated and you only got 2 armor
Excuse
chinks
you?
away?
You didn't do anything.
All right, let's go ahead and roll
You
for
just
the
got
doorman.
hurt.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You don't have a recoup phase.
I don't.
Doorman is attacking me. He's
Yes.
attacking me. I wanted to say you. I couldn't because that's not what the dice rolled.
I know, I told you. If you survive this round.
So you're rolling for the doorman. Go ahead and we'll draw a card here. 3.
Ooh.
That is going to be puncture,
Ooh.
which you should not do.
Ooh. Yeah, I shouldn't be so excited. Why am I excited? This is bad for us.
No.
Okay. Oh, okay,
3.
it hit. But it's only a 1.
It'll do 1. That's all right.
pretty good.
And it goes to my armor 1st. And it is back up to the top of the round. It is
Ally number 1, ally
back
number
up to
2.
me. Ally 1. Oh, I'm going to use a different dice.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't have much health left, which is already becoming concerning. I'm just going to do... I'm going to do a splinter attack, which is only going to cost 1.
Wow, you are
But
a brave soul.
I get to roll it twice.
Ooh.
So I get 2 attempts to do this.
And that's because it's listed right here in our status effects.
There's a double sword symbol, which is a modifier for being able to do 2 attacks for a single cost. But it's a harder one to get. A 2 is not going to make it there.
I'm sorry? That was clearly in view, sir.
Yeah, a 6 is going to make... Oh, I had 2 attacks, so I did
know.
both of them. Unlike you. The 6 is going to do it, so I do 2 damage to him, which is going to remove the rest of his armor.
It's pretty good.
I now do have a recoup phase, or I could go ahead and start resting to guarantee I get a lot of health back.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for the roll.
Okay, I would do the
I
same.
need it.
Yeah. Ooh, and that's not going to get it for
Okay,
you.
your turn.
Sorry, buddy.
I'm just going to... All right.
Yeah, you just drink your sorrows away. So, Okay, so we finally have access to his health. So maybe I should do something daring. I'm gonna go ahead and play 3. I'm gonna activate my split fist.
Okay.
So at a minimum, I need 3 to 5.
So you've basically got wooden boards strapped to your arms.
With spikes.
With porcupine spikes.
Oh
on the
yeah,
end of them.
it's amazing. I recommend this for any survivalists out there. You will make it out alive anywhere you go.
Roll your dice.
Okay, so let's see. Excuse you? I always roll on camera, sir. I don't know what you're saying. 7!
Okay.
Boom, there you go. Oh, wait, okay, that's pretty good. 5 damage, baby. Oh, yeah. And now I get to recoup. And I'm going to recoup.
Yeah, you're going to do the regular
Instead of
roll.
resting.
5?
It's a 5,
That'll
and
get you
I
there.
get 1 health back.
Yeah. That's not nothing.
It's pretty good.
It's not nothing. On to the bad guy. The doorman is going to roll to select his target. That's an 8. That is you.
Mamma mia.
I control him, so
Yes.
let's go ahead and check here. Flip that card.
Oh, God.
Key burst.
When it's red, you know it's bad.
Key burst. That's a 2 on key burst. It doesn't do anything.
Yes!
Doesn't do anything, but he is going to recoup.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and roll for his recoup.
Oh,
8.
come on,
He gets 2
Jesse.
health back. That did not hurt you.
But we're so far away now.
I'm going to have to spend 1 again because I am running out of health quickly.
Oh, God.
7.
Oh.
That's enough to do 2 damage.
Okay.
And I get to roll it one more time.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
I got to give you props, man. That bunny came in handy.
I am going to rest.
You're going to rest.
I know we said we didn't use it last time, but if I could get some health back, maybe because I got that 1 armor hit.
Oh,
So
God.
I've got a little bit of a buff.
You're a little bit too brave here. You know what? Let's go all in. I'm going to pay 2.
I'm brave.
Yeah, you are. I'm going to do Bloodlet. Okay, so at a 3 to 5, we take him down. And those keys are ours. Let's see if it happens.
I mean, not really.
Well, yeah, maybe. Hey, that is a... Oh my God, that's actually an 8. This guy is dead.
Well, I mean, you could treat the cards better.
Excuse you, he's an enemy. I don't treat enemies well ever.
He is in fact defeated.
Yes, he is.
So
I'm very happy.
he moves over here. We get to completely recharge.
Yes, we do.
So I go all the way back up to 5. Go all the way back up to 2 armor.
And so for those of you watching, there's going to be an MVP voting at the end of this video. So your boy is going to be that MVP. Just don't forget.
Except for the fact that I literally edit every single video on this channel.
You can't cheat.
And
I
so,
was clearly the best survivor here. I
Let's
whooped that guy.
go ahead and flip. Since you won,
I did win.
Go ahead and resolve this card.
All by myself. My first victory. Sorry. Our first victory.
Okay.
Increase ally armor thresholds by 1. Pull card number 26. Mark this accomplishment, then continue below.
So remember, pull is a modifier that takes something out of the deck without us disturbing something else. Is this 26?
Yes, but we have to be very careful. We cannot disrupt the timeline.
No. I don't want to mix up the timeline. Trust me, I'm being careful.
Okay. Oh, what did we get here?
That's a bonus. Okay. So what this card is going to be, this is how you track your kind of player abilities or bonuses throughout the course of the game. There's no modifier on the player cards, and I think this is actually significantly easier because you just have 2 little tracks that modify everyone in your party. What does it say we get for this first victory?
The creature is bleeding on the floor, facing you. He shifts a bit, still alive. What have you done with them? You know it understands. Regardless of what language it speaks, around him are keys. At least 10 of them. See, I told you we'd get some keys. Some are chained to him, others loose. 2 keys are directly in front of you. It could be your imagination, but it looks like one is beginning to move. And we need to mark our awesome armor gain.
Okay, so we each have +1 armor for the rest of the story event.
Yes, we do.
And like I said, that modifies all of us across the board.
You, sir.
We have a decision to make.
Yeah, I have to make a choice.
Finish him off and take everything. Leave him. Let's take what he has and move on. Let's take him captive. We're going to reveal either cards 7, 8, or 9. We're going to leave him. He's kind of weak.
But look at all the keys he's been flaunting at
Exactly.
us.
Let's take what he has and leave him.
Fine.
So, here's the important part. 7 is skipped over immediately. That means this is never going to be in play. Hops to the very bottom. We're not allowed to look at what that is.
But I want to know what that is.
8 comes out. We haven't revealed 9, even though 9 was on this card. We don't touch it until this card says to either skip over it or reveal it. So, let's see here. Heads up. You rifle through the creature's clothing and find nothing.
I told you.
You move to pick up a key on the floor. The key slides towards him and into his hand. You raise your weapon. The creature sits and waits, his breathing shallow and weak.
Does he want some of this porcupine again? Because I will give him porcupine.
Well, roll 1d8.
Oh, God. Okay. Really? I'm the good roller out of us. Are you sure you want to be?
I don't know what it does.
Okay. Okay, it's a 2. Is that bad? How bad is that?
You attempt to strike, but in a flash of light, he's gone.
Oh, come on.
Reveal card 13.
So we lose out on 9.
Don't you dare
on 10.
mix these things up.
On 11.
Uh-huh.
And 12. No.
We don't get to see what these cards are.
No.
Ever. Until we play again. It's actually, like, I'm kind of being silly about it, but it's genuinely, like, the very first time we played and we moved cards off of the deck into a pile that we didn't get to look at.
It was heartbreaking.
No, it felt good, though.
To me, it's kind of heartbreaking because I like the story.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what links and routes I just didn't. And why did you? We could have got a key.
Yes, we could have. If we would have taken that guy out, like I said.
Sunshine. Sunbeams punch through the dusty air onto the back wall. The light blazes a hot orange in between 2 corridors. They're signs of a struggle. A dead underdweller is laying face down in front of you with some overturned furniture. Glowing red blood trails across the floor haphazardly towards the left. You suddenly feel warm. Humid air hit the back of your neck. Something tall and thin darts towards the sunlight. You wait a moment and brace yourself for an attack, but none comes. In the midst of the chamber's stark isolation, you hear a hum. There's a small flicker of light from the left corridor, and the humming increases. The orange rays of sunlight start to fade away as the morning begins to pass. The room grows dark. You should move along. Do you follow the tall, thin creature into the corridor to the left, or do you want to avoid mysterious creatures in the dark, and do you go to the corridor on the right?
My mom always taught me not to follow bad people.
Okay.
It's a very important lesson.
Reveal. This is going to hurt a little bit.
No.
Reveal card 21.
No! No. Can I take back? Can I take it back?
No, you've already made your decision.
Oh, God.
These are cards and storylines that were never meant to be. Not in our narrative.
The timeline, it's becoming no. Oh, this is so sad. Poor viewers, they don't get to see anything.
They'll have to play it.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I kind of like the fact that we just skipped like half the deck.
I bet everyone's like, darn it, Jan!
Yeah,
Why
remember
would
that
you
vote at the end of the video? Go and reveal that card.
Yeah, gosh darn it. The twins. Okay. Oh God, wow.
That was quick.
That was a big jump.
That was quick. Like we said, we've played this once before. This isn't the route we took.
Oh God. We just like walked straight into danger.
Let's go ahead and pause.
What happened?
Hello? Hi, what's up?
The twins.
I'm not going to look at the camera for the rest of this.
Don't be awkward.
God. All right, Jan, so we have the twins.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read the flavor text.
Oh God. This went by really fast.
Why did you have to fast forward to this point?
It's not my fault.
No, it was your fault.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. Go ahead and read it.
Oh. You guys missed out on so much. Anyways, 2 giant pillars. You can't laugh.
Yes, you can. I'll leave it in.
Sorry, I'm not here.
The twins.
You know the funniest part of this edit?
What?
I will go from like mildly drinking bourbon
to like smiling.
To like smiling. like, yeah, I'll go from like just drinking bourbon every few minutes to just like not stop smiling.
Guys, I have so much. I love this game so much.
Hi.
2 giant pillars mark the entrance to the corridor. Obsidian tile stretches in every direction. It's dark, unsettling, and uncomfortably warm. As you cross the chamber floor, 2 dark forms appear from either side. They slide toward you with supernatural speed, as if pushed by a sudden violent wind.
It's not a violent wind.
Hey, it's a wind, okay?
Yep, I mean...
They attack in unison.
Okay.
Roll a dice, Mr. Anderson.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Well, the card says roll 1d8,
Okay,
so
I can't
assuming.
fight against the card. 4. What happens?
Ooh, not a good thing.
Well, is anything going to be a good thing at this point?
Well, if you roll high, we might get somewhere. Maybe.
Read the card. I rolled a 4.
So 4. The masked figure on the left makes the first move. 3 swift punches strobe your chest.
Oh.
An ally suffers 2 damage, and we start our encounter.
So we choose which ally?
Hey, I think I know.
You have more damage than me.
Yeah, but
Go ahead.
I do have more armor.
Take
okay.
it away. Good
Fine.
job. Nice.
Reveal cards 22 and 23, Mr. Anderson, please.
Okay. So this sets to the side, and let's see what we're facing here. 22 is set up for the twins. 23 is the twins themselves. Set up for the twins. Many of the twins' actions occur twice per turn as indicated by the double swords on the action bar. Roll twice and perform them as separate attacks on the same target. As you battle, the twins place all action cards they perform in a line in the play field. If either of these 2 combinations occur in a row, 5-5 or 6-6, reveal card 24. Cool little note here. Last time we played, that happened.
Yeah, I did.
It was really cool.
It's so
I
nasty.
talked with the designer of this game who has obsessively played through the first scenario so many times.
I could imagine.
It's never happened for him.
What? Really?
Yeah. So like when I was talking with him, he's like, "Oh no, that's a thing I included." Didn't remember it when I mentioned what the result was because it's literally never happened. So I don't think it will happen this time, but it was so cool the first time that I had to throw it in there that like it was a neat thing to kind of come across.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Okay.
So let's go ahead and kick some butts.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
No. But I am player 1, so I'm going to go.
Yes, you are ally number 1.
I start at the top
ally
of the
number
list.
2.
Should I start off strong?
Baby, go all in.
You think?
I think, yeah.
So like...
Well, no. Okay, seriously.
Not all in?
They have 8 armor, man.
Yeah, they have a lot.
I think we gotta, like, take it in steps a little bit. And I'm also already hurt.
Okay.
You can do it!
Here's what I'll do. I'm going to spend 3. I'm gonna do like a mid-range attack.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm spending 3.
You know that if they hit us with, let's see.
1 attack.
No, okay, you should be fine.
Yeah, I should be. A 3, is gonna give me... Now here's a cool thing. There's a little star symbol on the card. You can't quite see it because it's really tiny. But what that means is I roll this die, and this die determines how much damage I do, which means I'm gonna do 8 damage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. 5.
Okay, not too bad.
I mean...
I thought it was gonna be worse, to be honest.
It was better than
average.
That
Significantly
is
better than average. Subpar.
average.
No, I'm sorry, above par. You know what? I'm gonna do 3. I'm gonna do 3.
The Peanut Gallery says it should be a 1.
The peanut what?
The Peanut Gallery. It's the audience.
Oh, we have one now.
Says that it should be a 1.
Oh,
so
okay.
Go ahead and...
Well,
She's
I'm
not
gonna
really
prove.
on our side, though.
It doesn't seem like it.
No.
I will admit those twins are pretty badass, so I would be on their side too. Like they look much stronger than we are.
Roll the dice.
Okay. Oh my god. I got a 1.
Yes!
Oh no. Oh no. So everybody, I missed my attack, and the peanut gallery goes wild. I guess it's time for some retribution from the lovely twins.
We're gonna take a quick break and grab a chair. Go get a chair. In here.
Oh no, the peanut gallery has formed into
Yeah. If we're gonna have
something real.
Laborious laughter, we're gonna add into the frame. Hello. We are joined with Cassidy.
Hi!
Who
This person.
showed up unexpectedly.
Hey.
Let's go ahead and finish this game. She's fully supporting the twins, I think.
So I think she should be the twins, right?
She can roll as the twins. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so essentially what you're gonna do is that you're gonna roll 1d8, and if it's 1 to 4, you're gonna attack this guy. And if
It's your first turn, so you don't get a recoup phase, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, so it is her turn
Yeah.
immediately.
So you're gonna roll that d8. Depending if it's 1 to 4, you're gonna attack him.
I swear, if
If it's
kill
5
us-
to 8, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be great. Unexpected.
Yeah, so you're gonna determine who you're attacking first.
Okay, so 1
just
through
roll the
4,
dice.
you...
5 to 8 me.
Yep.
And that's gonna be a
Attacking
him.
me. Okay.
So after this,
Thanks.
technically we should be drawing from here. So what this is gonna do is that once you reveal, it's gonna give you a number. So it's gonna be 4. And you'll notice that right here, you have all these layers.
This is sort of an AI character that you're taking control of.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're not 100% playing it,
But you are rolling the dice.
but you could kill us.
Okay.
So now you roll. And so you're gonna roll for dual slice. So you're gonna roll that 2 times. So first, let's roll. Ooh!
That's not good at all.
That's a pretty good. So that's -2. Now go ahead and do it again. Oh!
How much is that?
That is another hit.
No, you took. Is 2 hits gone?
She did a total of 4.
Stop.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Well.
Whoa, friend! It is your turn once more, and it seems like we might need to call in some favors.
Yeah, like I can't rest because I'm not going to survive for another round if she attacks me.
Yeah.
I've really got to just. No, I can't attack either. I could do 0.
You can always do a 0 action.
I could do antlered.
Yes.
That's
there's
the
a little
extent.
jackalope.
Isn't that adorable?
That's so cute.
We've been
Although-
saying that it needs to be.
We have specified. We filed an official complaint
Okay,
that
what
it
about?
should be a Quackalope.
And somebody should listen to us. But
They're not going to,
yeah, it's sad.
but they should. We're against quackalopes across, or we're against jackalopes across the board.
Everywhere.
But there's just the cutest little cryptid.
They're a menace to society.
You're a menace to society.
I am. Wait until I roll again, you'll see.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll this dice. Because I'm doing the 0 action, which is a double sword action, and it's called Antlered.
And you missed.
I got another roll.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm
you
gonna
missed.
Use this
You
dice.
can do it, babe.
Yeah, you should have used the good guy dice.
There you
Oh.
go. There you go.
I do 1 damage.
Wow. Thank you for helping us so much. You're doing great,
That
buddy.
wasn't nothing.
Okay, go ahead
Hey,
and
you're
recoup.
taking away the shield, all right? That's all that matters.
I'm gonna go
True.
ahead and recoup. Oh, that's not a roll. That should have been a roll. That was a 7. I should have kept it. That's
And it's a 1. Yes, you should have.
We're off to a
You
bad
really
start.
should have kept it.
I rolled a 7.
It wasn't on camera. It was valid.
I'm
You
not gonna-
re-rolled, babe.
I'm not
The
gonna-
re-roll has to.
I'm not gonna cheat like Jan. You didn't see moments ago he rolled off.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna roll right now. Okay.
Okay,
So
go
first, I gotta
it.
decide what we're gonna do. I think we're a little worse for wear, so I'm just gonna spend 1.
Dude, we're not
Is that
doing
really
good.
a good idea?
We're not doing.
Hey!
None of this is
My
a good idea.
language. Okay, so 8. As I said, I have spoken my language, and this is the result. My powerful words have been brought to the dice, and I roll an 8. So that means that we did 3 damage to her.
Yep, we took 3 damage off.
And I get something special that's called a kickback. Whenever you roll dice very, very well, like the MVP, remember, the vote is at the end. Although I now have some serious competition, because, surprises. But,
Oh, she's won.
yeah,
Hands down.
I have a feeling, but I'm still going to strive for that victory.
Yeah, good luck.
There's
When
a
you
vote
get...
at the end of the episode determining who's the MVP.
Hey, you don't
of
have
the
to fill
entire
her
thing.
in.
Oh, okay.
Even from the
I
very beginning has been thinking.
You don't
that
have
he's
to
gonna be
fill
able
her
to
in.
get
You
it.
need to stop. It's fine.
Okay, well, if you
Okay,
continue
okay,
performing,
stop getting so
we're
defensive.
I
just
want to
having-
win! Stop here! I've been trying so hard. So essentially, a kickback will give me back 1 health. Okay, so that's pretty good. And now I get to do a recoup action. So, I got a 4, and that is another health. See?
Okay,
We're not doing as bad as we thought we were.
babe.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So at the top of your round, you're going to roll to determine who your opponent is.
Oh!
Really?
Oh no.
It's not necessary.
Hey, everybody.
Go ahead and draw a card
Death
to determine what the AI
is
is
knocking.
doing. 2.
Oh.
A dual kick. You're going to be able to roll this twice, and as long as you do no damage to me, everything will be okay.
Do a lot of damage.
Can I roll both dice at the same time?
You can if you'd like.
Bold.
That's
That's a hit, and that's you're
That's gonna
dead.
be a hit. So that's gonna go away. My guy is gone. It's good that we get to display death in this game, even though this isn't maybe the preferable way to do it. This, like we said from the very beginning, is one of the 12 characters you're going to be able to play through the entire arc of the game. This means that this character will never come back into the cycle again. I draw from the ally deck.
Hello.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah,
She's
Gotta
not-
admit.
Badass looking.
she's the Silk Weaver.
She looks like a Viking, and I love it.
So, right, the art in this game. This is
It's
the first
amazing.
Time,
The
this
art
is the first
is
time you've seen
beautiful.
this, right?
Yeah.
So first impressions, like we said, the first impression of this game is, oh my gosh, what is this game?
This was us the first time we flipped the card, basically.
no,
I'm
No,
just
no,
looking
no,
at
no.
both.
You'll go mad. What are you doing?
Dear
You
God,
lose all your
You-
cards.
I just want to look at the
you
art.
cannot mess
Never.
with these cards.
Ever.
If you get these in the wrong order, the rulebook says you'll go insane.
Well, I'm already
We've
here.
done the world a justice. We're so sorry you had to almost witness a poor woman just lose her mind
I'm
on
friends
camera.
with you already, all right? There's not much lower I can go.
It's true. It's true.
So,
You do need pretty high.
God, if you've watched to this point in the video, you're welcome.
Yes.
Whatever the case, I go ahead and draw a new character.
Mm-hmm.
That means our party is lessened, but I'm actually here back at full health, full armor, ready to swing into things.
I don't know. It feels like some twins are going down.
I think we're going to be able to handle them considering we've still got a few characters left. The
Yeah, a few.
the question for the main part of the game, though, is could you survive the rest of the chapters if someone has died this early on?
And it was 6 chapters, right?
Yeah, and so
with
that's
different
kind of
amount
the
of cards in
balance.
between.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
this time it was
100%.
24, but it could be much more or less.
Well, and we cycled through the cards so
Mm.
quickly.
Because someone made a bad choice, Jesse.
You made the bad choice,
No.
if I remember correctly.
Okay, ally number 1.
So I am going to go ahead and start up here at the top.
Again with the bad guy dice?
No.
It's like you don't want to win.
I'm going to go with these dice.
Oh, you stole my dice.
I'm going to start strong. I'm going to spend 3
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ.
to do what is called a net snare.
Oh, God.
So this will have a modifier for it. That's not going to work. I rolled a 1. That's not going to do anything. I do get to recoup? Question? Being the first round of this player's turn, do I get to recoup?
I don't know.
Well, we're going to vote that I do. That's a 2.
Convenient.
That's not going to do anything. So we're just going to
No. You give me my dice, okay?
Jen, that dice just rolled a 1 and a 2.
This rolled an 8 for me last turn.
That's true.
That's fair.
Okay.
So, let's see. We got a
all about
little bit of
dice.
health here. Let's go ahead and spend 2. 8! Hey-o! I speak in my language. Okay, so,
Are we in Mario Brothers now?
yes. I can do all the voices for Mario. Now, I get to do 3 damage. And now I do actually get bleed on this character.
Okay.
And in addition, I get a kickback.
Woo!
And I'm gonna roll once more. Yahoo! I get 2 more health. Yes. And that, Jesse, is how you play
Yeah.
this game.
All right, well,
Thank you.
let's see what happens now. You're going to go ahead and roll to determine a target.
Let me guess who it's gonna be. Yep,
Yeah,
exactly who I
it's
thought it
me.
was gonna be.
You're then going to draw a card.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
A dual kick, another dual kick. 2s don't match, though. It's only 5s and 6s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's not the double match. It's only the 5 or the 6, which is
Okay.
a lot more rare to have it come out. You rolled both. A 6 is going to hit me, I believe.
Yes.
It's going to do 1 damage to me, which is going to go to my armor first. You're then going to take the bleed damage.
Yep.
So that's going to drop off.
And 2 damage, is it?
No, it's 1.
Only one.
It's only
Okay.
1. Did you already take 1 or no?
No.
Okay. And then it's going to be the top of the round again. I no longer have any health that I can spend, so we're just going to do 1. And this is going to be Needle Dart 2. So I need to roll a 4 or better. That is a 7.
Hey, there
At
you go.
last.
We're going to do 3 damage to the twins.
Okay.
Go ahead and take them down a notch. And I am going to heal.
I gotta say, Quackalope, I'm proud of you. You overcame your bad luck in this game, and I'm very proud. Good job.
Thank you.
You should feel
No, I do.
fulfilled.
I do. I felt that. Except for the fact that I just rolled a 3 and I don't get any health back. So,
You know what? It won't matter because we're gonna take down these people right now.
What attack are you doing?
I'm doing a 4 attack, which is my Rust Slice.
Okay.
Okay. So the only way I lose, I'm not gonna say it because if I say the number, it's actually gonna happen. So I'm just gonna go ahead and roll. It's a 5, which means I get to roll this again, and let's see how much damage we do.
Oh, okay. So it's a star symbol.
It's a 3, and they are out, and we win.
Nice. The twins have been defeated, and we are going to go ahead and check this setup card here. If either of these 2 combinations occur, reveal card 24. They did not occur, so we are going to reveal card 25. So card 24 pops to the bottom here. We will never know what that card is going to be. And card 25, the journey ends for now. Thanks for taking these first courageous steps into the Spire. The road is long, the stakes are high, and your chances are grim. With your aid, the expedition can continue. 6 chapters of harrowing mystery and adventure, 35 illustrations by Benjamin Wiseman, 6 playable characters with different abilities, 7 unique enemy encounters, 87 unique story cards, and 6 different endings to uncover. Look for Spire's End soon, or now, on Kickstarter.
Rock on, baby.
So, that's the game.
Yeah.
That is Spire's End. It is a narrative-driven, choose-your-own-adventure, kind of card-stacking game, and I really like it.
And for the price points, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a great value.
Let's go ahead for the people that are skipping to the final thoughts section of this video that didn't want to stay for the setup, the play, the general gameplay. You should really rewind and
You missed out on a lot.
we introduced
Like,
a
a
third
lot.
character. I mean, a lot happened.
It's a big deal.
Whatever the
Really
case, let's go ahead and dive into our initial thoughts, like our final thoughts of Spire's End. Cassidy,
Yes.
what do you think?
I came in for like about the last.
You've been
2
around for
minutes.
about 10 minutes. Your first reaction was to the art itself.
Yes, the art is absolutely gorgeous. I wanted to look at the other characters, but they said no.
You can do it now.
Oh, gee,
Yes.
thanks. Oh wow.
They're all very lovely.
He has a spade.
So this is like the perfect example of everyone's kind of initial impression of this game. Is that the art,
Oh, she
for
has a
some
ferret.
reason, just like immediately calls to people.
It's striking.
It is striking. It's a style that I'm not aggressively familiar with. I don't see it in board gaming all the time. And something about it makes me think that there's a good game underneath it.
And I think it's a combination of artwork and really well thought out graphic design.
You can tell that there's something deeper, like there's so much detail and character in every one of the illustrations. You can tell it's sourced from something that has like depth to it.
Yeah, you can tell there's a world in just on their faces, in their portraits. There's enough there.
So Jan, we've been able to play Spire's End, the first chapter, 2 times now, which means we have done some replayable content on it. What is your sense of this game? And what's your sense of kind of where this game fits in the marketplace?
So there's been a big need for engaging solo play games for a while now. And I think we've seen a trend of narrative-driven games from everything from games like Unbroken, Escape the Dark Castle. There's a little bit of everything.
I love this genre. If someone comes to me with a choose-your-own-adventure game and that's all they do to pitch it to me, I'm already sold and interested.
But here's the thing. I think that this is going a little bit beyond because it feels like there's decisions to be made.
Oh, 100%.
There's control.
Yeah.
And I've
But there's
played
also-
other games where that isn't really the case.
There's also a good story behind it. And so, there are some areas where we could probably be critical of it. That being said, my initial impressions of Spire's End, having experienced the game, having played through this first story, having seen the artwork, talked with the designer and the creator, like, I really like this game. I think it fits kind of this pocket that I've been looking for of a accessible, lightweight kind of, I mean, this is going to come in a box about this size. Whereas like the narrative games that I choose to play, that I love, are on a shelf behind me that come in a box that's so big I have to like baby it when I travel anywhere with it.
Yeah.
Specifically, Kingdom Death, Madara, Gloomhaven. Those are games that I love because of the narrative storytelling, because of the choice and the decisions. This is a pocket-sized version of that, and I don't think it loses anything. It's simpler, it's lighter, but it's not worse because of that.
Well, I think what you're trying to convey is that in terms of the story that's
What I'm trying to
it's
convey
telling,
is that they need to back this game immediately because I want a copy.
Sure, but
Yeah.
keep in mind that it is a much simpler affair than all the other games that we've expressed.
You have to know
right?
what you're getting into.
Yeah, of
and
course.
so that's kind of the element that I'll pitch is the criticism that we could have of this game comes solely down to what the game actually is. The game pitches itself as an expansive choose-your-own-adventure story. It pitches itself as a narrative-driven, card-driven game. But there are some elements of it that, you do have to be aware of. If you're backing this game, you're backing it because you like the story. You're backing it because you think the choices are interesting, but they're not overly complex, right? There is decisions to be made, but for the most part, you're going down kind of a narrative route and finding out one of those 6 multiple endings that you can have.
And it's the balance, right?
Yeah.
Because if the story wasn't as powerful as it is, the mechanics would just fall flat.
Yes.
But since the mechanics are fairly interesting,
They're
the
deep
story
enough to
becomes
keep
even
the
better.
game. They're deep enough to keep the gameplay really interesting and challenging, without having the overhead that a lot of the larger games that I like have. That being said, I do like those larger games because they have that overhead. I like the complexity that's given to me in Kingdom Death, in Madara, in Gloomhaven, kind of the core ones that I go back to. This is something that I could bring to a table that doesn't experience those games or isn't willing to journey through those games. This is also something that I can bring to the table a whole lot easier by myself, which I think is an important thing to note. I play Kingdom Death by myself. I enjoy it. It is a lot to manage. This simplifies kind of that whole route. And I know I'm comfortable mentioning those titles because the very first time I had a Skype call with the designer, he had Kingdom Death set up in the background playing through his own solo campaign. Those are the areas that he's sourced this game from. It's where he's taken inspiration. Are there any other major criticisms you'd kind of point out in terms of what we've experienced with this prototype copy?
Yeah, so we've already addressed some of those main critiques throughout the gameplay. For example, sometimes managing multiple ailments or just different conditions across the board can be a little bit fiddly or just a little bit sprawling, depending on how many things can happen simultaneously.
And that's a status effect that we're kind of predicting for late game. If there's a lot of things happening, you may have more ailments on a single figure than maybe you're prepped for. And we have presented kind of an idea of a solution that's generated some conversation with the designer. And so I know he is working on refining how this game plays when it hits the table, both by introducing different colored cubes, possibly like a secondary slot where you're able to track those things. So it is a criticism of the prototype. I don't know that it'll be a real criticism of the final kind of the core game.
And I think another thing that we need to keep in mind is there's an Achilles heel here. So first off, it's a very accessible game at the price point that the Kickstarter is launching at. It's fantastic. However, that also comes with a lighter share of content that you're going to get here. So of course, for example, in Gloomhaven, Madara, everything you've given, you're getting a huge box, but you're getting hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of entertainment. Here, the price point is indicative of what you're going to get in the box. With that being said, what's in the box is fantastic from what we've seen.
I think it is a smaller game. And that's, you can tell just by the box size, by the price alone, you can tell that the game won't have the sprawling narrative that some of those larger games will. That being said, it's similar as if you were kind of picking up a comic book series and driving through that narrative. I think this is one that's hands down worth experiencing. I think there is, just in this gameplay alone, I get the sense that there is enough replayability that especially experiencing it with a new cast of people makes this game something that's exciting to go back into. One of my favorite things to experience in Kingdom Death is having other people make the decisions the first few years of the game. This is a game that I think will probably replace that craving in me. Instead of pulling out something like Kingdom Death that requires 60 hours and a committed group to play, I could bring this out and watch someone make the choices that maybe I didn't make when I played through. That is fun for me, and you have to see if it's going to be fun for you. And I also know that there is more to come.
Exactly.
If this game funds, if this game kind of gets the hype and the feedback that we're hoping and expecting it does, this won't be the last you see of kind of the Spires' series. And so like your favorite comic book shows or your favorite TV shows, this will have a narrative that you can experience, and then it'll continue carrying on.
No, and again, I think that's to the betterment of the game and what it can bring, because it is something so palatable and easy to get to.
Yeah. Now, from the one person that hasn't experienced this game at all, for any of you that skipped to this section, she literally showed up and was added in about 10 minutes towards the end.
Swear to God, unscripted.
Yeah, so we're not just ignoring her voice in the conversation. Instead,
I just don't know the game as well as they do.
She just knows that the art's really pretty.
And that I killed one of them, one, but then he
totally murdered him.
So whatever the case, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this overview of Spire's End. I'm really excited about this game. I'm so glad that we were able to get a prototype of it, and I am looking forward to kind of experiencing the rest of the narrative.
So excited.
If you've made it to this point in the video, you need to go ahead and vote that I was the MVP of the entire session.
It was all me.
Just go ahead and put down...
Count the 8s.
It's spelled
okay?
Jesse.
Who predicted the 1?
That was luck. Okay? It was me.
All right, guys. Whatever you do, go ahead and make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. We put out new videos every single week, and we're working on some other kind of behind-the-scenes projects that'll be coming out soon. Jan's kind of taking lead on a few of those.
And maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Whatever you do, though, remember to do the important thing. Get out and play some games. We'll see you next time. Thank you.